Time. Session number 4. Session number 4 of the 2020 International Virtual Dada Festival, and that is from Three Rooms Press. And we do have our fabulous MAINTENANT 14 journal available right now at this lovely banner below the little ticker that's going along the bottom. You can get your own copy of MAINTENANT 14
today,
and we're here to celebrate with a lot of our contributors from the East Coast, and also one from Argentina.
Yay, so, Argentina! All right.
I wanted to say quickly about the cover. This is
who did the cover?
The cover is Walter Robinson. He's a neo pop artist in New York City, and he painted all 5 of these different pieces, and one of them in the background is golf clubs, and the other 4, as you can see, are products.
And what do we call this?
We call this piece "These Are Our Children," because this is what we're leaving the earth, which that brings us to the theme. And I'm going to read a quick introduction. The theme is unsustainable shit, and that's our theme for this year. And if there ever was unsustainable shit, it's all these things here, which make us think we feel better, make us think we aren't hungry, make us think we don't have lung cancer, and make us think we can get somewhere faster. And it's only how we think, and that we buy into it with a capitalistic society of earners. So Dada was born as an artistic protest, an unfettered reclamation of the trenches, flowing blood. This is World War I. There were bodies just piling up. Along came influenza, which couldn't choose sides. And now here we sit in isolation 100 years later. And we're still creating. Revolutionaries facing a new form of plague, accompanied by a demagogic projection. Each page to follow is a physical conviction. Each spread relates an intimate correspondence. The entire volume is a familial tree of leaves and shapes and buds of thoughts to be. Our theme might be unsustainable shit, but here as one soul, the moment is sustainable. So that's MAINTENANT 14. I'll get your copy. And Kat, what do you have to say?
We have a lot of performers tonight, including Valery Oisteanu, Mehrl Bennett, Cooper Casale, all the way from Georgia, Terese, Thomas Fucaloro, Anoek von Praag, Jeff Farr, and that is just the first half. So stay tuned, fasten your seatbelts, realize that Dada is protest, and here we're
going to start off with tomorrow's birthday girl, Catherine Mehrl Bennett. So let's bring
Bennett.
Where's the
Mehrl Bennett?
There we go. Here she comes up. Welcome to the show, and she might even have John hiding there. We might get very fortunate to have John make a quick guest appearance. So
but for now, welcome Mehrl Bennett. And take it away.
Take it away. It's all yours, the show. We'll see you on the backside.
All right. Thank you. I was fortunate enough to have a piece in MAINTENANT 14. It's the one. Which one? This one. Climate change urgent. It is time to bottle Earth. And I'd like to read a poem that was published in MAINTENANT 12, which kind of fits in with that theme of the environment, and especially right now during the spreading wildfires in the West. The pencil song and nobody's surprise. Admit one, light a pencil. Back up, admit, enter backwards. Admission rate, welcome, canned words. Discounted rate, who said what, when, why? Preview films, feet in cement shoes. Advance to present, global warming. Presentation mode, write a song, sing it. Global warming song. Pretty pencils burning in the woods. Pretty pencils make a forest of words. Each day we sing our warning. The earth is warming, warming, warming. Fast mode to the future. Question effectiveness. Rafting off the roof. Answer all charges. Please take your seat, ma'am. Those in power do not listen. Perform the event titled Nobody's Surprise. So it might be nobody's surprise that I lost my balloon, which was supposed to represent the earth. So I'm just going to have to improvise, pretend this is the earth. Pop! Now it is time to bottle earth. Okay. Now I would like to invite my partner to come up and help read a joint poem that we wrote this month. This is John and Bennett. Here, let me fix this. There we go.
Go ahead.
Rituals, naming the clouds.
Go ahead.
The Sunday morning egg ritual.
Foams under the splintery chairs.
Hailed by toasted bread slices.
Crumbled on the windowsill.
The cheese and crackers lunch ritual.
Concrete olives fill the mouth.
A knife marries the cheese board.
Bloody wood and hive cancellation.
The mailbox checking ritual.
Steak in plastic bag.
I matter inside a window envelope.
With hair and glue.
The reading of a poem ritual.
With hands full of ants.
Crawling over our white gloves.
Spelling the name of clouds.
Take a bow, John. Okay.
1 minute.
All right.
I have one more short. Okay, this is chicken called Chicken Lunch. It's from Mehrl Bennett. Come back up here, John. Chicken Lunch. The chicken churns.
Do we have a copy I can see?
Oh, no, we don't. Here, I'll read something else then. Okay.
All right.
We Wish with Unwise Words, Wontons or Wonder, by Dustin Cecil and C. Mehrl Bennett. Unruly things hinge between morning notices, begin to have lunch with the hungry. Thoughts settle on several venues after dark. Somewhere downtown, blocking traffic, a bookmobile waits to hear open newspapers shifting within to bring an instantaneous flinch. Nightly, an infant starts to cry, wandering wantonly in office buildings burning bright. Now we hear muffled gasps and sighs. Listening to it unknowingly, we would add fire hydrants over waving laundry, sort gas leaks into mailboxes. wielding such power over ocean shorelines, east to west, each of us seem to line our pockets with holy shit.
I love
Okay.
that. All
See,
right,
Mehrl
line my
Bennett.
pockets with holy shit.
Not only is it a big
Wow.
Dada night, but we have a big birthday tomorrow, do we not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy
Yay!
birthday!
Dada!
Happy birthday, da 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 da. All right. So I just wanted to make a public service announcement here. If you are a performer and you are logged into Facebook or YouTube, and if you are in the first half, you need to log into StreamYard. So Cheryl, Mehrl Bennett, sorry. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It was wonderful. I love Pockets Full of Shit.
And
Yeah.
Cheryl Fish, we got to take you off the live stream right now.
I will
And
do
you
that
line
anyway.
up, you log back in at 7:35. Thank you.
Okay. So, bye-bye. See Mehrl Bennett.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, C.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you...
I am going to read my piece
she's
now.
going to read her piece.
This is the world premiere performance of this piece, which is in MAINTENANT 14, right next to Lisa Marie Jarlbone, who was on our 1 o'clock session 3 version of the 2020 International Virtual
1
Dada
o'clock today,
Festival.
we had live stream from Europe with 12 or 13 of our European contributors. It was a wonderful show, and as this will be as we move forward. So here's Cat George.
Joining me in this reading will be my accompanist, Peter, on background. Go ahead.
Population.
1800.
Population.
1 billion.
Population.
1927. 2 billion. 1959. 3 billion. 1973. 4 billion. 1986. 5 billion. 1998. 6 billion. 2010. 7 billion. 2020. 7,794,798,739.
Honey, how about we move to Mars?
Nah, I heard the service there is terrible. All right.
It could be worse. Hey, look who's here. Cooper Casale. We're going to put you on next, Cooper. We're bringing you up. Are you ready?
We were going to bring up
Thomas. You'll be after him, okay? So we're giving you, you'll be fine. Okay, so here comes someone we...
Right out of the green room.
Right out of the green room. Let's bring him up. Cooper Casale. Do you like the E or not? Do you say Casale or Casale?
Well, that's kind of an existential question. Have you ever considered, like, how your last name is actually pronounced? I think it's Casale.
Okay.
I think.
Casale.
Yeah.
I'm an Italian, so I say Casale.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't have to. I could say anything with Dada. So we're so happy to meet you. You're in Georgia.
I actually just moved to Oklahoma. That's why I showed up like 10 minutes late. Is because I got lost on the time zone switch.
Oh,
okay. Wow. Well, we're glad we have you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
All right. Nice to see you. So take it away, Cooper.
Cool. Noise. There's something wrong with Mr. Bradworth, the new gray tenant. He's freakishly tall and skinny and frayed at both ends, like a ribbon unwoven deliberately over time. It's not just me. We tenants heard from up there these big bangs, followed by these littler bangs, like a Super Bowl bouncing against our teeth. And we've spilt beer over this all night in agony. He showed up last month with one bag, and hasn't left his room, 401A, Building C. And the landlord, born without legs enough to climb his own stairs, is spilt beer. So we go up there, all of us tenants, and knock on Bradworth's door. and Miss Silverstein, with a 5 for both S's, brought her spider in a glass jar. Miss Silverstein smartly punched holes in the lid. Mrs. Spider's beer is spilt. And ugly Derek Jimmy Malloy, whose pimple scars look like tattoos in the right light, is jimmying the lock, which makes itself quiet little bangs. My brain is a drum or a piece of tight cloth. With the door unlocked, we rush in, spilling beer, and there's no furniture save the good vibes poster in the corner of the room, latticed by the sun, which is caught in the novelty animal print blinds, and a TV blue between inputs. There's something wrong with Mr. Bradworth, standing at his spotlessly clean toilet, lifting and dropping the lid over and over and over, and it's the sound of a can opening, its gas shooting out of the red ears of Bradworth's big empty head, which Miss Silverstein says we ought to split under the lid.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's it for Cooper Casale. Why did you move to Oklahoma?
Starting my PhD at the University of Tulsa in Joyce studies.
Okay, well, very good, very good. So it's a pleasure to have published your work and a pleasure to meet you. And thank you for taking part on this. And we're going to take you off, but you can watch on Facebook or YouTube, okay?
Cool.
All right, thank you so much. Cooper, it's him again. All right. So here we are. We're going to move on to the next reader here very quickly. But again, let's put on the ticker tape and let's see the banner for MAINTENANT 14. Please buy a copy so you can get it right from us on our website, MAINTENANT 14. It's worth every penny, $25, 256 artists and writers from 33 countries on 6 continents. And the only continent we're missing is Antarctica. And next year, we're going to work very hard to have an artist or writer from Antarctica to submit a piece. And we will be having a big reveal of the new theme for MAINTENANT 15
later in the
show. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
There
and
we're
going to bring up Thomas next, and then we'll get Valery, who made it to the stream. Thank you, Valery. So here comes our dear friend Thomas Fucaloro. We've done 2 books with him.
Yay,
he was with us on
Thomas.
the NYPL show, the New York Public Library show, a couple of weeks ago, doing this for Dada, and he's always there to perform in his own inimitable way. So thank you, Thomas. Take it away.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to start with a poem from the book. An open ocean moon, a full bloom of lilies, a dying shopping experience. So, I was at the Palisades Mall for some shitty work meeting. I go outside to have a cigarette, and a mall security guy came over to me and told me, "You can't smoke outside." Apparently, this mall has the right to ban smoking outside because of the secondhand smoke causing secondhand death. But then I look around at the mall parking lot and look at all these cars exhaling their biled shit into this wondrous thing called breath, and the factories and buildings around the mall spitting their vile poison in the air. How could you not smoke at a time like this? I'm being told to put out my cigarette by some mall cop while there is all this noxious violet in the air, and they think by me putting out my cigarette, air will be restored to its natural luster and color. I believe that things will eventually get so fucked up with the environment that lilies will eventually mutate and grow lungs and legs and limbs, and they'll be picking us out from the soil, put us in water. Watch how we sink. And I have one more poem for you. Thank you. And thinking about things that we leave behind. This is a terrible thing that we leave behind. The pilot's crop duster stalled out after dumping hundreds of gallons of pink water during a gender reveal party and then crashed. Possessed of design and natural contours of programmed weight, the surprise of expectation with cupcakes, and the defying of gravity, Wonder bread, wonder whole bread stalks of dying in order to birth a reveal comparison of what most of the nation births. But whimsical streamers and wide-eyed fires are another way to reveal who you really want them to be. We stare into in each other that was almost there. Arrest the creator of these types of parties that often find themselves filled with obnoxious uncles and gendered stereotype of drunk cold teeth harvested for conversation and breath. Put the jewelry on the nightstand, hide the baseball bat under the bed, toy with the notion of not putting anyone's life in danger in order to impress your family with pixel dust representing someone's genitalia. And who's got time for genitalia reveals when that's all that's on the news? Wide-eyed reveals of bodies hating other genders, of genders hating other bodies, how some keep their war digest next to their religious text, of how when some reveal their gender, it might get them killed. Be an upside-down umbrella. Always catch the rain and pour it over your head in celebration of those who have lost and those who have survived today. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much. We're going to take you off the stream, but you can continue to watch us. But thanks for joining us again. It's so nice to see you. We haven't, we can't, it's weird, but this is what we do now, right?
I love it. Either way, it's great to see you in a rectangle.
There you go. Yes. And hopefully we're not bars in it. So
Yeah.
Take care, Thomas.
You too.
All right, here we are. We're gonna. I got a little something to say about Dada as we're waiting to get some things on. This was from the Dada Manifesto by Tristan Tzara. There is no ultimate truth. The dialectic is an amusing mechanism which guides us in a banal kind of way to the opinions we had in the first place. Does anyone think that by a minute refinement of logic, he has demonstrated the truth and established the correctness of these opinions? Logic imprisoned by the senses is an organic disease. To this element, philosophers always like to add the power of observation. But actually, this magnificent quality of the mind is the proof of its impotence. We observe, we regard from one or more points of view. We choose them among the millions that exist. Experience is also a product of chance and individual faculties. Science disgusts me as soon as it becomes a speculative system, loses its character of utility, that it is so useless, but it is at least individual. So that's what we're dealing with here, individuality. The Dadaists all came, they didn't come together. They were in three major cities during World War I, which were fighting against each other. And a couple of the Germans who jumped the army wound up in Zurich in Switzerland. And so here you've got France, you've got Paris, you've got Berlin, you've got Zurich, with a war going on with thousands and thousands of corpses piling up. You got these three groups of people creating Dada, which was anti-everything. And now we're going to bring up our next performer, which is, he's been with us since the beginning, Valery Oisteanu. So please welcome Valery. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Let's not forget the Romanians.
No,
Tristan Tzara, Marcel Ianco, they all
yes.
numero uno.
I read Tristan's Who did I mention? Tristan Zara. He's a Romanian, so
Yes,
he's the
yes.
first one who came out of my mouth.
my uncle, actually. So thank you so much for doing this. Peter and Kat, love you. And I'm going to start with the unsustainable happiness, the poem in the Maintenance number 14. Great number, great issue. The unsustainable happiness. Through the tears I have seen my generation dragging crates of empty emotions, wheeling smoldering shopping carts full of steaming dreams and nightmares, anguish, silence on medication, in rehab, under the influence, invisible. But now let's drink the cocktails. Ray Johnson is still dead by his own hands as a symbol of disdain for the art society. John Evans' shadow marking 3rd Street and Avenue B. This crazy machine called existence, where you are unplugged but not yet dead. A giant pillow of indifference hangs above the graveyard of the poets, artists, actors, musicians, and revolutionaries. To be remembered as fearless cocktails. Let's drink Charlie Parker's Full Moon of the Mind, Jack Smith's Key to the Cement Paradise, Ellen Stewart's Fearless Bird Dance Cocktail, Judith Melina Nonviolent Revolution Cocktail, Julian Beck Poltergeist Rising, David Rattray Smoking Colors of Sorrow, Ted Jones Burning Indignation Cocktail. Remember these drinks and rejoice. The late lamented sunset brings winds of change. Cheers. And now I'm going to read a short poem for my last and lost and late friend, Steve Dalashinsky, who was a comrade, and it's published in this issue, but unfortunately, he left us. Tragedy after tragedy, a final note. Steve has gone like a soluble fish in the ocean, melting in swirls of colors, breaking in the rhythm of a trumpet, dissolving in a glass of gin and tonic, escaping the junkyards of trivia, making echoes in the streets of Soko, his cantankerous voice hackling my readings. Every day someone leaves their apartment and never returns. Now he is wearing my unfinished haiku. Steve, part of a composition without coda. Steve in every garden. Steve in every jazz joint. I am watching a video on Facebook at his last reading. He was riffing in the end, over and over, in the end. But what is the end? The end of space? Is that what he meant? The tragic kabuki. I refuse to believe that an eclipse is the final view of the moon. The rebel duo lost its trio. Steve will rise again like a shadow ghost, not in Long Island, but here in his village. His poetry, his effervescent spirit will haunt us until the day we die. Goodbye, Steve. I am Valery Oisteanu, reading to you from the 20th International Virtual Dada Festival.
2020.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you,
All right,
Valery.
we're gonna take you off the stream now, and you can watch on Facebook or YouTube. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Valerie.
Thank you.
All right, and come on. I need okay.
I'm so glad that you all are here. Thank you so much for coming. This is our 2020 International Virtual Dada Festival, our 4th of 7 sessions. We're featuring East Coast people tonight, and please welcome to the stage now, Terese Cole. Yay!
Thank you.
You made it on. We're so glad.
Yeah, we'll let you.
Yeah, I heard Valerie and I heard Thomas, and I was
Great.
trying to get in, but I was both on Facebook and YouTube, and I couldn't get sound. Anyway, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear
Yes,
you
we
perfectly.
hear you.
Okay, wonderful, excellent. Thank you so much. God, this was such a big production to manage this. You know, I'm not a techie, but my son helped me a little. Okay, so I hear my voice like on a second echo.
Keep going because we
Just-
got to bring on the next segment.
Okay, the first poem is Intimidation and Blackmail for Purposes of Taking Over the World. Beware the multiple rows of replacement teeth, the not unfair comparison to sharks, the antipathies that betray the territorial, the sonar for the vain and dictatorial. I'm going to close one of these because I'm hearing something. I'm sorry, it'll only take a second. I don't know. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to go to the next one.
Yeah, you need to turn the show off on Facebook
Yeah.
or on because you'll be echoing. So if you turn the show off, you won't be echoing.
I know, I did. Now I'll turn off the Gmail and okay, maybe that one. Oh, there it is. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. The Turtle. Next one is The Turtle. In Memoriam Stanley album. He said he couldn't leave. Something had to make him leave or take him out of there. A blind man making random tissue paper sculpture in the desultory space of his apartment. Next one is very short, Survival After Death. One man's quietus is another man's treatise. This is called Tokchuk in Tibetan. The fall from sky, a Himalayan relic from sky gods, a prompt to detachment, a small meteorite worked and partly melted in its fall through Earth's atmosphere, is worn around the neck, a twisted black anomaly worth more than gold to Tibetans. Mindu, Mindu. The Lhasa Curio man is abrupt. Is not means no. His tone suggests you have no idea. He'll never take the offer. 6 miles outside of Kathmandu, over a thick blanket that reeks of yak and is filled with unknowable enigmas, he opens a small round silver box holding flint and steel. Something for the idiot Inchi or Westerner. It will hang from the waist tie of man or woman. Carried everywhere, it strikes a spark. The small explosion touches the brink of articulation, like the art of Tonki that resembles Tokchuk. They depart without tuk-tuk that fell from sky. A gift from powerful deities. It's much too nice for the absurd Inchi, who has plied the Lhasa dealer with dollars for the flint box. The enigma the Inchi may one day be able to grasp. Okay, this is called Gypsies.
Is that it?
Thank you. Thank you,
Therese,
Therese.
we got we got to
gotta keep
log
the
in the
ball
other 7
rolling.
people. So
Okay, sorry. No
Okay,
time.
that's
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
You can watch us on
Alright.
Facebook now. Watch us on Facebook or YouTube.
Okay.
I got to take you off.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Uh,
Okay, so go
Watch
ahead and
out.
talk. So it's we're so excited to be here and excited that you're joining us. And now, please welcome to the stage.
Anoek van Praag.
Yay!
Okay, there you are, Anoek.
Hi.
Are you still at the Finger Lakes, or are you
Yeah,
back?
I am. I'm at the Finger
Okay.
Lake. It's
Well,
amazing
we'll let
here.
you
Even
perform.
though I'm from New York City, but yeah, it's
We're gonna let
amazing.
you perform from the Finger Lakes.
All right.
Okay, so go get them.
Greeting from the lakes. So thank
Okay.
you for doing this amazing stuff. You're fantastic. Gradually taking by shock, so out of step, so out of touch with needs and wants, breaking into bleeding others, fear shutting down senses, common senses, streets and towns and countries, tsunamis of grief and suffering, opting for narcissistic rage, disguised in clowning armor, like an animal about to die, obliterate all that is known, breach the identity of moral land. It did and cannot last. Eventually, we will explode. Scattered around the globe, family and friends catching pieces. What is left is nothing, doing, nothing, thinking. Tragedy of vast proportion. All things alive suffer now, suffer later, and forever, until, unless, undo, we can create fluid stillness, just stillness first. Thank you.
All right, Anook, beautiful. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming and joining us from your first trip out of the city. You said,
I know it is.
And Dada. We got Dada coming from all over the East Coast today, all the way down, trickle down to South America, Argentina. We have
Oh,
Mado
fantastic.
Reznik second half. So you can. I'm going to take you off the live streaming. You can watch us on Facebook or YouTube. Okay. So
All right.
thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you to everybody who's here in the audience watching our 2020 International Virtual Dada Festival. We're having a great time here with our second of 3 shows today. This is our East Coast focus. So we have one more person in our first half, and this will be the amazing, the incredible
Jeff Farr. So please welcome Jeff Farr, who's here for your entertainment Dada value.
Jeff
Okay,
Farr.
go get him, Jeff. We're going to just let you go.
Right on.
Promise.
The Devil's Already Dead, which is also the title of my piece in the journal. The devil's already dead. I was at his death bed. What will we stand against now that the devil is dead? Now that the devil is dead. The devil's already dead. He used to live in my head. Where will our thoughts drift now that the devil is dead? Now that the devil is hoo-hoo, 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 the devil's already dead. He used to sneak in my bed. Will our dreams be free at last now that the devil is dead? Now that the devil is, now that Satan is dead, now that Satan is dead.
All right, Jeff Farr. Jeff has performed in the past at our live Dada shows with the Babes. And Jeff and I go way back. And he's not only from the West Coast, but he's from Tucson, Arizona, where Peter used to run a bar that Jeff actually played in a punk band way back in the 1980. So, yay, Jeff. Thank you so much for surviving COVID and being here. We'll see you soon. Okay, so here we are now back at Dada, and we're taking a little interlude here. I wanted to talk about something about Dada that a lot of people don't know, is that Dada is, it's wacky, it's fun, it's great, it's irreverent, it's anarchic, but the main thing is Dada's attitude toward war is that war is chaos. And actually, there's war going on. There's cultural wars going on right now. Those are chaos too. The world has gone mad. The war itself is craziness incarnate. It's destroying humanity. So we think that Dada now is as relevant as it's ever been. And we're not repeating Dada of old. We're doing Dada of today. And I think that the most important thing is that what you're seeing here are original pieces that started in a movement that began in the early 1900s as a reaction to World War I. But here we are today wondering why things haven't been completely better. And we can only have art to express the craziness and the chaos of the world. That's why we're doing our International Dada Festival, is to highlight that. So please, thank you so much for being here. And Peter?
If you can, reach down and log in and buy that book right down there. Buy our other item.
Yeah.
I mean, we're giving you unsustainable shit, and we want you to buy our other item too, which is the book Unsustainable Shit. And now that we're here in the centerpiece, we're still waiting for a couple of the second half people to log in. There we go. Everybody's here.
Okay.
So let me quickly announce. Take off the big one. Okay. Let me quickly announce what we have for our new theme for MAINTENANT 15. Our new theme will be, we're going to be a little later this year. The submission period will be November 15th. We're waiting until after the election. November 15th until Valentine's Day, and at which point we want you to create a piece for the theme, Humanity, the Reboot. So we're going to reboot humanity with our pieces. We don't want to be reactive. We want to be totally proactive, and we want to see everything that's absurd and everything that's, just completely satirical about how we could change the earth to make it a better place, since we haven't done it yet. So what are we going to actually do? Let's make art. Let's write words that come from our heart, but also open up the pain of the past and the pain of now and expose this to the future. So
Okay.
Humanity the Reboot.
Yay.
And now we're going to start our second half.
We're going to start our second half, and we're going to welcome to the stage Mark Blickley. Please welcome Mark Blickley to the stage, the Dada stage.
Hi, guys. I'm going to start off with the piece that is in a Factors collaboration with Amy Basson. That's in Maintenance 14. It's called Homo Bulla. As a person of refined taste, I prefer Van Gogh with ears. I am living a life of the mind, but why does it have to be my mind? Too many people are as shallow as a serial killer's graves. When others lose their way, they find apathy. All diseases are dormant until they attack. When one is king of a pond, you fear ripples. Smokers know that every puff is a kiss goodbye. The pressure is not to have pressure. Errors cause evolution. I lost weight but have found it. The key to success is in the shape of a sword. I'd like to do another Factors collaboration. This one is with an actor friend of mine, Bobby Finero, who had a recurring role on The Sopranos and was in The Irishman. And he was co-starring in my play, The Milkman's Sister. So backstage, he took a selfie of himself in character. And I liked it so much that I had to write a piece to accompany his photography. So this is called Gravity Grateful. And that's Bobby here. Looking down from high places doesn't bother me at all. But when I have to look up at things like buildings, it makes me nervous because it feels like some kind of force, like a magnet or something, is going to pull me up and lift me off the ground, which is a lot worse than falling, because if you're falling down, you know you're falling, and that's that. But if you get pulled off the ground and lifted into the air, you're not falling, but you could fall at any moment. And there's no end, because if you fall, you have to land. But if you're lifted up, it can go on forever. And I hate that. Okay. And a final piece, another collaboration with the Factors collaboration with Amy Basson. It's a piece called 6 Pounds of Sin. And this is the image that inspired it. My first exposure to personal injustice occurred at my baptism. My godfather, Uncle Nicky, held me over the baptismal font just as the priest was about to anoint me with holy water. Uncle Nicky exploded a fart. The startled priest dropped his cup of christening water as my uncle immediately blamed me for his flatulence. Nicky held me at arm's length, turning his head and scrunching his face as family members recoiled from a stench so severe even the non-religious could believe in the devil. My godfather handed me over to my mother and insisted she change my diaper. Many pinched noses nodded agreement. She quickly exited the sacristy, but to her surprise found my diaper empty. When we returned, I felt exonerated, vindicated. Yet mother chose to remain silent. I shall never forget the indignant eyes of the priest looking down at me with apprehension and disgust while he moistened my forehead with salvation amid the giggles of family and friends.
All right. All right. Way to go, Mark. Where'd he go?
I don't know.
He disappeared. That's about as quick as I've ever seen anyone disappear. Well, that was a disappearing act, just as we have become the Swamediums now.
Wow.
We were Swamis, and then we were mediums,
And
so
now
we
we're
decided to become
Swamediums.
the Swamediums for the second half of the show. So
Right.
that's what we're doing. And next up, we're going to bring up Ronna Lebo. So please welcome Ronna.
Ronna
Look at this. What
Lebo.
a great costume, Ronna.
Hello,
Take it
Ronna.
over. We're going to just
Hello, Ronna.
hand you over to the crowd.
Dada crowd.
I'm going to read The Zombie State of Party Politics, or I call it the ZOP. We are truly screwed up in our wads of fear and war, in the mental realm, ignorance and cancer guns and memes suck our heads of thought. We once sang choruses of peace and love, forgiveness. We've had enough. We're done being hippies, thudding our thighs against hate, against the devil, God's invention against us. We won't be silenced, but anonymous. We will carry survival to the sacrificial altar of what's legal. We will melt down reason, spill, spit, political madness through fields and farms, through suburbs and city, into our kids, into a co-ed resin of insanity, never dissolved back into the earth from where we stole life. We'll never again believe in a government or any spirit that calls itself freedom. We are idiots and proudly send calamity to bury the rational, set fire to law, and to revere the billionaire idea of an equality wheel. Thank you.
All right, Ronna, thank you so much.
Wow, the billionaire idea.
There you go. That's what we have. The trillionaire idea. I figure there'll be as many trillionaires come the turn of the next century as there are billionaires now, as there were millionaires at the turn of the last
probably,
century.
most likely, none of them will be us.
Well, why would you want to be one of them?
Right.
You know,
It's all
to live forever would be to, you know, you couldn't. I'd rather be in hell
Who's
for
next?
eternity. Maybe I am.
Hell, we're in hell.
Thank you so much, Ronna. We'll see you. We'll see you at the
soon.
end of the show. Okay, if you want to hang out,
Hang
you
out.
can stay on. All right.
All right.
So, who have we got next here? Are we moving
All the
forward?
way from-
Quickly, all the way from Argentina. We will not
Yes.
cry for her, Argentina. We will bring her to the stage, to this live stream.
Yay.
Mado Reznik.
Yay!
We met in New York. It was very nice to meet you.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
It's a shame we haven't gotten together since, but it's wonderful that you could join us this way.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you so much for having me.
well,
Really.
Thank you for
so
being here.
we're going to turn you loose on the crowd, okay?
Okay.
Okay, fine.
All right, Mado Reznik.
Well, here I'm going to show my piece. Unfortunately, the postal service is not working well now. So I just printed, it's a B, and I'm playing with a B in English and S in Spanish, which is the same, because B's are disappearing. And I'm so glad that I'm sharing the page with this wonderful text. And also, I would like to say that since I'm working with you guys and accepting my work, I always work with the same thing. I mean, always with unsustainable shit. So this is from the 13, which is a photo of something I made about immigrants and borders. So I play with a slip and the word border. And then before that, I made this one, this digital collage. I don't know if you can see, which I'm playing with false note, and the word capitalism, it is capital. That's the word, I mean, and that's the idea. And also before that, I also worked with the Roundup and all the shit we're eating and consuming these days. And before that, I'm working with all this narcissistic stuff about selfies and being, I mean, you know, online. And well, thank you for having me and having my work. I'm very, very, very glad to be with you.
Thank you so much, Mado. Your
Thank
art
you for joining
inspires
us.
me, and
Yeah, we're always inspired by your art. And,
yeah, you can. Do you have a website also?
Yes, I do. It's my name, MadoReznik.com. Yes.
That's easy. Yeah,
Yeah, very easy.
So all the world is Dada, and I'm sure Argentina is as much Dada as in Buenos Aires. So you know,
I can tell you, yes, it's Dada. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, more than Dada.
I hope that you stay healthy, and we'll see you
Yeah.
again soon. Okay.
Thank you so much.
I hope to see you again. Yes, soon.
I'll leave you on the live stream if you want to hang out with us. We'll talk
Sure,
to
I
you
will.
later,
I
okay?
will stay here.
All right.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
see you shortly.
All right.
All right. So, okay.
Who's next?
So you want to just go right into the next
Yes.
person? Okay, we're going to bring up Gordon Gilbert, who's probably not too far from us right now. We probably could hit him with a stone if I got up on the roof. So bring Gordon. Here he is. Gordon, are you
Hello.
here?
I'm in the West Village. I changed microphones. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're doing a little better. It's a little
Okay, thank you.
echoing. So
All that
you just
noise
go ahead
is-
and read.
What?
You're okay. Go ahead and
Okay.
read.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the piece that I have in Maintenant 14. A lesson too late for the learning. When the wells run dry and nothing is left to us of nourishment, stripped bare of clothes and winter closing in, all doors locked and every key taken from us. No fuel for the machines that could take us from this place, and none to feed the fires as we huddle shivering in the cold. No power for the street lights that would push away the darkness as the cold night falls. No music, neither that recorded in another time and place, nor that we once would make among ourselves. No songs from throats too cracked and parched, no melodies remembered, all instruments broken. Trees leafless and barren, grass withered, brown and dry, mud and dust and ruined walls. How can love survive in a paradise lost? How did we let it come to this? The poison, self-administered, the self-assisted suicide. Here in this desolate waste, last of our race, dying of self-inflicted wounds. I won't read another. I'll just leave you in a state of depression.
Thank you, Gordon. That's where we want to be. I fluctuate from one minute to the next, whether I'm depressed or suicidal. So thank you so much for only leaving us depressed. I'm not on the suicidal side. Thank you.
Thank God.
Thank you so much for coming, Gordon. You can hang
It's
out.
a pleasure. I love participating.
All right. I'll come throw a stone at you from the roof. All right. So Kat is going to read something here real quick.
I'm going to read a piece here, a quick piece that's in MAINTENANT 14, which is full of art and writing, and it's got all kinds of Dada images, collages, cut-ups, experimental writing, all kinds of things that you definitely should get your hands on. I'm going to read a piece here now, a short piece from a fellow by Paul Kavanaugh, not another Kavanaugh. This is Paul Kavanaugh from Charlotte, North Carolina. This is called War. Bomb the bastard, says Terry to Harry, and Harry says to Perry, when the big one drops, they'll know who is the best. And Perry says to Carrie, his wife, war. I just love it. These are my neighbors. So, Paul, hang in there. And thanks for
These are
being
all
a
of
part
our neighbors
of
right now.
These may be all of your neighbors.
They're all of our neighbors right
Yeah.
now. And we're going to have to get through this somehow. And one way to do it is to keep creating. And that's
Right.
what we're doing. That's why we were able to put this book out this year, in this year of pandemic, in this crazy year of 2020. How could we do this? 256 people came together with us, and it's just a wonderful thing. So
from 33 countries, somehow we were able to bring everybody together. That's what we can do. So this was a dream of Tristan Zara too, is to have a global Dada gathering, and that's what we got. So there. Now,
all right.
Who's
so
next?
Let's bring up Cheryl J. Fish, who's probably not too far from us either. So,
Yay!
Hi.
Hello, Cheryl.
Hi, I'm in Tribeca.
Okay, you're not far.
No, I know.
Okay.
Taint here and taint far.
I walk down every morning right past you, so it's
Okay.
cool. So we're gonna cut you loose on the crowd. So go get them. Tell them.
Okay, I'm going to read my poem from MAINTENANT 14. First, they harvest tigers. They harvest tigers for their skin, bones, and teeth to grind into wine. Stripes and ivory powered Viagra stockpile, poach the wind, puree the heart, traffic in death, sex, and child crime, mutilation oil, kill orangutans for palm, debased cash cow, hate potion. And unfortunately, it is true that they do harvest tigers for that stuff. It's disturbing. I'm going to read two poems from my book, Crater and Tower, which came out in May from Duck Lake Books. And it juxtaposes the events of 9/11 with the eruption of Mount St. Helens in Washington State. And this year was the 20th anniversary of the Mount St. Helens eruption. Sorry, the 40th anniversary. And it was the 19th anniversary just this week of 9/11. Basically, I live very close to Ground Zero, and I had PTSD, and I was a writer in residence out at Mount St. Helens with writers and scientists, and it just unleashed all my unsustainable shit feelings about disaster, and I wrote these poems. Smoke alights, sinister plume angled by the wind off the towers before they crumbled. It could go this way or that. Brooklyn, Jersey, uptown, underground, my town, any town, into Canada, a hole in the sky, between your eyelashes touching silk, defiling plants and water, reaching into mother's milk, tooth and nostril, the world's outer inner line, black smoke of 1,000 chemical drifts, white smoke of annihilation, red smoke of pained regeneration, blue smoke of ocean crest, true bleeding in the marsh of landfill, smoke in a blanket of rain. And unfortunately, what we're experiencing out west now with the wildfires is is evocative of, again, of smoke that knows no borders and no boundaries. So sad. This poem is actually made up of two found texts that are both insurance policies, one from Mount St. Helens and one from 9/11. So I wrote them kind of in columns. I guess you can't tell. Anyway, losses we cover for Elaine Equi. We will pay for damage to the property for direct loss by volcanic eruption, including volcanic blast, shockwave, lava flow, and volcanic fallout. We do not cover loss to trees, shrubs, lawns, and grounds harmed directly by earthquake, landslide, mud flow, tidal wave, flooding, or earth sinking, rising, or shifting. One or more volcanic eruption shall constitute a single eruption. The deductible provisions of this policy apply. Treatment is available for those who worked in the rescue, recovery, or cleanup. Survivors who lived, worked, or went to school, the New York City disaster area, are eligible. If you know someone you think might benefit indirectly from the World Trade Center Health Program, encourage them to contact us. Were you there? Was someone you know there? Within a 72-hour period, your words might help them get care. Practitioners provide high-quality mental health and provide treatment for cancers. Additional cancers will be added to the list of losses we cover. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Kat and Peter. It's always good to be here.
Fish and
Thank
Tribeca.
you.
It's
Cheryl,
wonderful to
Jay
have you with
Fish.
us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hang
out, and we'll bring you up later when we're off the stage. I'm going to put on the banner for a second, and I was going to say that Maintenant 14. This is our 13th edition of Maintenant because the first one was published by Arthur Cravan back in 1913. In fact, he published 1 through 6 at that time, but we decided to just give him a 1 since he was the very first zine.
It drives archivists crazy.
But we've done 2, 3, and 4 were just stapled paper. And then 5 became a perfect bound, and then I believe it was 9 that became full color. So here we are at 14, and we've got a theme for 15. So if we're still here on this planet, we're gonna have a 15. And please get a copy of 14 while you're at it. And let me take off the banner, and I will bring up our next. We'll bring up our next penultimate performer this evening. Another one. I could throw a stone at her building from me. And Firestone Ungar.
Hi. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to see you, as always.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to let you tackle
take it away.
Take the crowd. They're going to be eating out of your hands. So
unsustainable shit. We know it. Others don't. I'd like to read from the marvelous Maintenant 14, my sonnet for those who don't yet understand the crisis. O2. To heal the wounded earth, to regain abundant air, a breath of clean protective layer, true gift to us, a shield against death. The lungs of life, the Amazon, cut down by blind, uncaring eyes, absorbed CO2, fueled by sun, water to photosynthesize. From that, the trees breathe out O2, and we breathe in the gas of life. Diminishing now, much to rue, coming end, in elegant strife. We'll choke on shore of New York Bay, gasp at Sylvia's in Harlem. In Hong Kong and Calcutta say Earth is doomed. No one can pardon. Science, knowledge, here are foe lands. Friends, beware. Our fate in our hands. Thanks.
Thank you, Ann.
Yay,
I can join you,
Thank
Mehrl. Thank you for
you.
holding up the book.
Thank
We
you
love
so
you.
much.
Stay on if you want, and we'll have a little chat in a little bit. So
Sounds like a plan.
hang in there. All right. So I guess we'll just bring up our final, the finale, the act to beat all acts. The Dada man of our time, Andrei Codrescu, a man who needs no introduction. So I'm not going to give him one. And he said something about being a clock. So let's bring up Andrei. Hello, Andrei.
Hello, Andrei.
Hey,
Where are you out?
we're,
Brooklyn or Queens?
we're in Brooklyn at the quadrupedal yoga studio. We're walking on all fours.
Okay, good. I'd
We've
like
got
to
a
see that.
song,
Oh, good. All
and
right.
it's not hard to learn, but it's about friendship with all things that walk on all fours.
Wow.
Walk on all fours.
We should be better at that,
Fantastic.
right? We
I
should
remember walking out of the ocean. What struggle! Millions of mollusk ears and shell games that hurt. I remember getting up from all fours and looking down on all my astonished, variously shaped former friends. Not one of them wanted to look up at me, and now I was up bipedal and lonely until there were a bunch of others. I remember the first scene in 2001 where I killed another. I remember that every time I bent down to be closer to the busy world of things that crawled, loped, or burrowed, I was condescending and they moved away from me. I remember towering over everything that wasn't me. I remember the day I howled in pain because my back gave out. That was the day I knew my body was weakly hinged at the place where it first stood up, and I wanted down again. Lord, help me walk on all fours again. I know that it's late. We only grow taller now, like the towers we can't stop building. Since we got language, not one non-human creature deigns to speak to us, though we pretend in vain to understand them. Animals find it more understandable when we shoot them than when we kneel down and pretend we are their friends. We do kneel down often to pray, not to commune, but pray, that we won't suffer from the back pain that is our sign of Cain. Oh, goes on. I remember that I can still return to water and do flips, but I'm in charge now of all the things I covered over. I remember kneeling to gods that were so tall I couldn't see them. Their heads were in the clouds, we barely reached their sandals. Even the Mado god was so tall that he dropped the tablets on Moses and made lightning to scare us all to the death we knew was coming. In the little world I live in, I sell diminishment. Unknown caller. And practice quadrupedal yoga. And I'm attacked by all kinds of creatures I didn't teach to jump on me. And I too hoping to walk one day into the street with my quadrupedal brood. It will be the day of no pain and of trading language for nuzzling. If we succeed, it won't be so hard to hope that learning screens hurts less than when we first left the ocean, equally pushed by hubris. Our new weak spot is memory. A bad back and a lousy memory may smooth our way to becoming humble and wild again and good. Well, attack, creature, stop. All right, Dada of the world.
Andrei, we had you last, and I had Valery first, although he didn't make it.
Yeah, okay.
Because we wanted to give our thanks to the Romanians, who created basically Dada, along with Hugo Ball and
all the Transylvanians.
Yeah, we live. We live like that. a guy named Urmuz, who used to walk around Bucharest and talk like me and Valery.
Right.
All right. Wow. I like it. Yeah, we'll go to Romania someday.
We're going to make it there. We were going to come visit you this last year, remember?
Yeah.
Next year in Transylvania.
It will happen. Hold on for a second. We're going to close out the show and we'll bring everybody back up. So thank you, Andrei. So here we are.
Here we are.
Maintenant 14. We had, I think it was 14. Maintenant 14, we had 14 performers this night, including us would make it 16. So don't count us. We're just the hosts with the most.
Thank you to Valery Oisteanu, Mehrl, Bennett, Cooper Casale, Terese Code, Thomas Fucaloro, Anoek van Praag, Jeff Farr, Mark Blickley, Ronna, Lebo, Mado, Reznik, Gordon Gilbert, Cheryl J. Fish, and Firestone, Ungar, and Andrei, Codrescu.
I'm Peter Garloptis.
I'm Cat George.
We're with Three Rooms Press, and we have published this right here in your corner. You see a little tiny Maintenant 14, and I'm going to put up the banner back so that you can get yourself a copy of Maintenant 14. Please order from us. And if not from us, go to Amazon. You might get it cheaper. Money's important now. Money's always important. Money's always the most important thing there is.
Yeah.
So do what you got to do, but get a copy. What's also important to the heart is creation and creativity. And this is 256 creations right here.
Yeah.
So, in fact, on the cover, 257. So you got an extra one just getting the cover. So we're going to bring everybody up. Come on, Ann. Come on, Cheryl. I don't think Ronna's there. Mado, Andrei.
There's
Hello. There's Ronna. Okay. You took your bird face off. Very good. All right. So let's give him one of those. Who was it? The dating game, or was it Carol Burnett? Which one should we do? The dating game. With a kid, and we're gonna go on live, but we can stay on ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're gonna end this broadcast.
Thank you all for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next. Session 5 starts in.
We've got West Coast. This will be our third show today.
Wow! Wow!
Thank you.
So we'll talk.
Hang in there.